Hello viewers, welcome to Ekam Academy. I wish all the great teachers a very happy Teachers Day. We are all proud of you having the teachers who are actually responsible for shaping the country's future in a very proper systematic manner. So on this occasion of Teachers Day, we all need to remember the sacrifices of our freedom fighters who actually have shaped the country which we are living with more liberty as well as more peace and harmony. So we have to remember the main person on the Teachers Day occasion is Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan Garu, who was a very great teacher of any generation in India, you can see, and this person has tremendously helped many students and he has shaped our country also in a proper right. In that particular context, let us start this particular video. So first, we'll be discussing today about the recent visit of Prime Minister of India to Asian countries of Brunei and Singapore. So why this visit is particularly important for India and how it is going to develop India's interest in the South Asian region and Southeast Asian region, we'll be discussing in a quick and informative video. So first here, we'll be discussing about TSPSC Group 1 Prelims cum Mains Foundation batch, which is about to start from 23rd September. In this particular program, everything related to prelims and mains will be taught in 7 months duration. There will be online and offline mode also of coaching available along with bilingual mode. This also covers different types of tests like weekly tests, daily tests and all. At the same time, you'll also be given with study material and value added content like current affairs. So here you can see there is also another program called Mission Lakshya for UPSC aspirants. As you know, UPSC aspirants need to update their current affairs from various sources like Down to Earth, EPW, Pyojana Kurukshetra, PIB, etc. So in order to buy these things for 1 month, if you see, the cost will be around 1,000 rupees. So at the same cost, we are giving the analysis of entire magazines for that particular month along with PYQ analysis. So this is going to be a very good treasure of knowledge for you people, which is provided by Oberoi sir and Vijay sir from Monday to Friday. Every day classes will be taken for 1.5 to 2 hours of time. And for further details, you can contact us on the number displayed on the screen. Right. Then, what is the point of discussion? You know, recently in the first week of September, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi Garu, so he is visiting Singapore as well as Brunei. In that context, let us see what is the brief thing we have to understand from this particular visit. So first thing, why it is so important when he is visiting 2 countries of Southeast Asia is this particular country, Brunei, if you see, this is Southeast Asian country and an Asian country also. But what is so important from this particular visit is, so this is the very first visit by any Indian Prime Minister. So far, no Indian Prime Minister have visited Brunei, right? That's the main thing. And this year, this particular country's bilateral relations with India marks 40 years of its existence. That means we are celebrating 40 years of existence of diplomatic relations between India and Brunei. So that is why the Prime Minister is also taking his time to develop the relations between these 2 countries. At the same time, we also have another visit to Singapore, which is also a Southeast Asian nation and Asian nation. And this particular country's relation with India is also celebrating its 60 years of its existence. On this occasion also, Prime Minister is making a visit to Singapore. So let us understand what is the importance of this visit. So before we understand, we need to know about the regional grouping called ASEAN. ASEAN stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations, right? So if you see, this is a grouping of 10 countries. So here you can see these countries are Myanmar, Vietnam. So this is Vietnam. Then Laos is this country, Thailand. Then we have this entirely as Indonesia. This is Malaysia. Here we have a small tip called Singapore, and this is Brunei. So here and here, these are the 2 countries which the Prime Minister is currently visiting along with Philippines. And we have this Cambodia also, right? This is Cambodia, right? So these are the countries, 10 countries part of ASEAN. Let us understand about ASEAN in detail. So we have to understand the background of ASEAN. On 8th August of 1967, 5 countries came together to solve the problems they had with each other. So before we go into those details, 8th August, if you have remembered in Indian history also, on this particular day, we have launched the Quit India movement, August Kranti Maidan, we call August Declaration also, right? So that is the context we have to connect with Indian national struggle. Then 5 countries are Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and Philippines. So these 5 countries together have established a declaration called Bangkok Declaration. Bangkok Declaration in 1967. Because why Bangkok? Because they held this particular meeting in Thailand's capital of Bangkok. That is why it is named as Bangkok Declaration, and this has given birth for ASEAN as a grouping. Okay. ASEAN means Association for Southeast Asian Nations. Later on, 5 other countries have joined. What are all other 5 countries? We have Cambodia, Laos, Brunei, Vietnam, Myanmar. India's only neighbor in ASEAN is Myanmar. So all these 10 countries together now formed as ASEAN. That means India doesn't have any membership in ASEAN as a grouping. Then let us understand what we have to understand from ASEAN point of view. ASEAN and India, if you see, although we have diplomatic relations between ASEAN and India from 1990s onwards, because if you see, as part of Indian foreign policy, we used to have an important policy called Look East policy, which was actually given in the year 1992 during P.V. Narasimha Rao sir's time. Then this particular policy was upgraded into another form called Act East. Not only looking at the East, we need to act with respect to East, taking especially focus on Southeast Asian countries by developing our own northeastern region also. So this was revamped in the year 2015 in the present Modi government, right? So then what is the main point of the discussion we have to keep in mind is 2010, if you see, then we have signed a free trade agreement between India and ASEAN. Free trade agreement is also signed in the year 2010. And if you have remembered, in 2018, for our Republic Day, we have invited all the heads of 10 countries for the Republic Day parade. So in that way, we have good relations with ASEAN. And another thing we have to keep in mind is, although India is not part of ASEAN, it is part of ASEAN Plus. So what are these ASEAN Plus countries? 10 ASEAN countries. And then we also have countries like China, India, Japan, South Korea, we have Australia, we have New Zealand. So these are the 6 countries along with 10 ASEAN countries which form part of ASEAN Plus, right? Let us understand why this ASEAN as a region is very much important. Because if you see any country, all these 10 countries in the ASEAN have some relation, like geographical borders are there with China. So you know, in the recent times, China is increasing its presence in the South China Sea as well as Indian Ocean. Right? So any country, most of these countries have some form or another dispute with South China Sea, with China, and also we also have China's presence increasing in the Indian Ocean. So for these reasons, if you see, as part of Indo-Pacific policy of India, Indo-Pacific as well as India's immediate neighborhood interest also, we are actively engaging with the Southeast Asian countries as part of our Act East policy. Act East as well as this. And if you see the relations with Singapore, is marking 60 years of existence, and Singapore is the 6th largest trading partner in the world with respect to India. And in the recent visit, there is excessive focus on semiconductor industry, and we are trying to have an agreement also. And one is another important thing which you have to keep in mind is there is a discussion regarding Regional Comprehensive Partnership, Economic Partnership Agreement, which is a free trade agreement among Asian countries and some other countries along with India. And you know, recently 2-3 years back, India said, like, in the interest of domestic market, we are not accepting this Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, and we walked out of it without signing this particular free trade agreement, regional free trade agreement, you can say. So these are the main things which you have to keep in mind with respect to ASEAN. Let us look into the previous discussion, previous video question. Which of the following statements about Supreme Court of India is correct? Supreme Court is the highest judicial body in India. Apex Court, correct. decisions in the Supreme Court are final and cannot be challenged in any court. This is also correct, right? So whatever the decisions in the Supreme Court are, those are final until unless we have some criminal offences and mercy petition is allowed. But still, decisions of Supreme Court are allowed or final. Then Supreme Court has the power to review its own judgment. Yes, it is a court of record. It can record its own judgments and it can review. That is why, if you have seen whatever that is said in Golaknath case, that was reverted back again in Keshwananda Bharti case. So many times Supreme Court has deviated from its own instance. So answer is D. Then let us see the practice question for the day. ASEAN Secretariat is located in which of the following cities? So in which of the following cities ASEAN Secretariat is located? Try to put your answer in the comment section. Then, as we have reached end of the video, today we have discussed on the lines of Prime Minister's visit to two Asian countries of Brunei and Singapore. We have discussed what is ASEAN as a grouping, who are all the member countries in it, and at the same time we also have discussed what is India's relation with ASEAN and what are the different types of developments happened in the recent times and what made it so special for India to have active engagement with ASEAN. So these are the things which we have discussed in this video. If you found the video informative as part of your preparation, please let us know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.